In January 2023, the Russian government made an unexpected and, one might say, shocking move by approving a new development strategy. You'll find the core conclusion of this strategy quite interesting. The Russian government no longer sees Siberia as a region with development prospects. Instead, it has shifted its focus to prioritizing the development of the Arctic and the Russian Far East. But let's not forget, Siberia is the heart of Russia, its resource base and its potential. How logical does such a decision seem to you? This declaration was quickly followed by concrete actions with strategic consequences for the country. For instance, in April 2024, Norilsk Nickel, a giant of Russian industry and the world's largest producer of nickel and palladium, announced the closure of its copper plant in Siberia and its relocation to China. This seems rather paradoxical, especially considering that just a year earlier, in 2023, one of the key shareholders of the same company spoke about the possibility of relocating Russia's capital from Moscow to Siberia. Quite the contrast, isn't it? More recently, it became known that the founder of Rusal, one of the world's largest producers of primary aluminum, has been negotiating with Central Asian republics and Abkhazia to establish a large mining pool. Initially, this project was intended for Siberia. These and other developments clearly indicate a retreat from Siberia. Moreover, this very year, reports of the change in strategy began to appear widely in various Russian media outlets. At the same time, the media started promoting the idea that the Russian government now plans to transform the Arctic into the world's largest special economic zone. Now let me ask you this. What do you think prompted them to abandon the development of Siberia so suddenly? I remind you that this program was meticulously crafted by top specialists for over 10 years. It was a large-scale, long-term project in which vast resources and high hopes had been invested. And then, an abrupt U-turn. Why replace it with a new strategy that, according to some Russian economists and analysts, resembles a poorly written student paper submitted at the last minute rather than a serious development plan for the strategically vital region? What compelled them to change their plans so hastily? The answer is simple. They have realized the reality of the threat posed by the Siberian magma plume. The magma plume is now rising directly beneath the very territory targeted by the previously approved development strategy, which they are now abandoning. As early as 2014, the closed section of Allatra's climate report contained facts about the danger of the Siberian plume, and this information was communicated to Russian officials. They are like rats fleeing from a sinking ship. They are abandoning Siberia and its people, shutting down and relocating multi-billion-dollar projects, hoping to safeguard their assets and wealth in the farthest corners of the country or even abroad, as far away from Siberia as possible. But you know what's most frightening? The people of Russia remain unaware of the actual risk involved. Instead of honestly addressing the issue, the authorities resort to propaganda. They claim that Siberia is a region with no prospects, yet they still expect people to live and work there. Why, you ask? Because for now, they can still extract resources from Siberia and line their own pockets. Rather than addressing the problem and implementing controlled degassing measures, they are shifting their capital and investments to the country's periphery. Do you now see why the new development plan focuses so heavily on the Russian Far East